All the music they wrote. First Dark Knight had great music.
Sports guys this morning.
That is pretty good.
Lord of the Rings, someone writes you. My wife went out of town 10 years ago, and I smoked a lot of pot and watched all of the Lord of the Rings movie. It was 5 years ago, before my daughter was born. Watched all the Lord of the Rings movies in one day, just stone. It's great.
Yeah, it's probably fun. Not a big fan. Never really actually seen it, but not a big fan of that stuff.
Breaking Bad had a good theme. Voice crack.
Oh, man, now you know you're in it. You hear that, and you know, oh, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat for the next 45 minutes. Damn.
See, I didn't get to experience Breaking Bad whenever it first came out, so, I didn't have to, wait. I'm sure that it was, it was a week-to-week series. So
That's the last thing I watched, I think, live, Doran.
Really?
Like, the
I never
last...
watched it live.
We caught up by the final season.
Okay.
So we binge-watched everything right before the final season came out, and then every night, me and my wife and my sister-in-law, we would get together and we would watch live. Which never I mean, that doesn't happen anymore. There's no more appointment viewing. I mean, you'll get, a bulk release of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when Stranger Things comes out, on Thanksgiving or whatever, or Christmas?
It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah, they're doing the holiday releases. That'll be awesome. You'll just sit there and you'll binge however many they release. But to watch something and, sit through commercial breaks?
No, I can't do that.
I guess I did it with Game of Thrones, too.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad till, but it ended in 13, right? 2013. I didn't watch Breaking Bad until maybe, 18. I did, 5 years later, I got into it.
Did you watch Better Call Saul live?
Not live, but I binged it. Maybe a year after.
The first season of Breaking Bad came out in 2008.
Yeah. That's a great year for movies and TV.
It came out 2 weeks before the Steelers. No, I guess it would have been a year and 2 weeks before the Steelers won the Super Bowl because it was the 2008 season. Forget me.
That was a great year.
Forgive me.
Well, that was Dark Knight. Was that Hangover? Was Hangover 2008?
Probably. You generally guess these things right.
Superbad? Good year for this stuff.
Hangover 09.
09? Okay. A lot of good movies and TV that came out in 2008.
That was the best time.
That was a good year for us. You got Penguins, you had Steelers. College. Well, I was in college. You were in, going to be you were a senior.
Summer of Woo, baby.
Yeah.
My
Good
wife
year.
and I got together. Watched the Penguins do all kind of cool stuff. Proms, slacking off school.
Yeah, that's a good year.
Oh, great. Doesn't get better than that. You should stay in college as long as you possibly can. Intern Dom.
Okay.
Are you going to get after it this year, Dom?
You gotta get after
It's your
it.
last go-round. How many more credits do you have left? You can't have that many.
Not many, maybe 20.
20?
Yeah. It's going to be 2 light semesters.
Wow.
I plan on getting after it.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, too.
You have to.
Because you could do 20 credits in a one semester. Screw that.
Probably could if I wanted to push it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I'll do 12 and 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
Nice light fall, lighter spring.
Do you have an apartment up there?
Yeah, I do.
Bunch of roommates?
Yeah. About a 10-minute walk to campus.
Oh, that's not bad.
Right by the bars.
Oh, wow.
Right by a bunch of other apartments, sorority houses. It's perfect.
What do you think about Dinosaur Barbecue?
Very good, actually. I thought it was overrated at first. The more I eat there, very good.
My sister-in-law did a summer program at Syracuse, and we went up and visited her, and we had a great time. Partied in Syracuse, went Dinosaur Barbecue, which I had heard from a couple of people you gotta try, but it's also overrated. I thought it was delightful. Who would have thunk some place in upstate New York would have good barbecue? Texture. Paleontology and archaeology professors usually, at least very often, go out to do research in the field. They look for fossils and artifacts in the field often yearly or every 2 years for months at a time. Yeah, absolutely. More often than not, though, they're not running into the Nazis.
Right. They're not shooting people and whipping people and,
It is such a weird weapon choice, man. It really is. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out into a field. I'm going to swing from a whip And if I should encounter any Nazis, I will beat them with it. Wait, what? Harrison Ford, what a guy.
Yeah. He
He's
really
in a
did it.
great new show. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I think I've seen an episode. What's it called again? He's like is he
He's a
like
therapist.
psychiatrist, yeah. Oh, what is that show?
Damn it.
Shrinking?
Yes!
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've started watching it. It's very good, and I wanted to put it off to the side to watch Better Call Saul because I heard it's worth attention.
Very, very good.
Isn't that with the dude forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's out? He's tremendous in it, and Harrison Ford is so good, and it's very heartwarming, but also incredibly funny and super dark. It's like a dark comedy, which is right up our alley. Yeah. Check it out. Texture. Once the freaking whip is stuck on something like a tree branch or something he swings off of, how the hell does he get it to release? Yeah, Batman's always had a lot of success with that too. I'm gonna throw something up there. It's gonna latch on. I'm gonna swing, and then it knows exactly when to release and come right back to my belt. Indiana always had a lot. Oh, throw the whip around, bang! I'm gonna swing across this canyon. I'm gonna land, and for us normies out there, the whip would get left behind.
I love Batman's belt, because in the Michael Keaton movies, it's just like a gold belt. I'm like, where are all the gadgets that obviously it's like slide across for him to use, the things that he shoots to hang on, and he's doing all these different things. I'm like, where are they at? You just see a belt. You don't see compartments on the belt.
No.
You just see a belt, and all of a sudden he's just click, and then all of a sudden he's just shooting through the roof, and then the little spike thing goes through concrete, and then it attaches to the concrete, and then he slaps it back to the belt, and then he grabs Kim Basinger, is like, how much you weigh? And she's like 100 pounds, and he just looks at her like, oh, man, we're going to try this out, and then they just shoot up to the ceiling. Like, what?
You're
What
right.
in the world?
He's just a regular belt until he needs it not to be.
Right. Huh.
It doesn't make sense from a physics standpoint.
No. Not at all.
Texture, how does Spider-Man undo the web he swings from? I called him Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
he's gonna run a law firm or something. Get the Spider-Mans.
Spider-Mans.
How did Spider-Man undo the web? Well, I mean, that comes from inside of him. Shooting ropes.
Yep.
Peter Parker.
Yep.
How big was that dump that they found?
You know what? I didn't do any reading. I just saw a video, and I had it on mute, and I saw the headline.
No.
Yeah.
How big was that dumped?
It looked like an average size.
On a scale of 1 to Callus and what he leaves in the toilets here, what would you say? What number would you put it at?
My dog's 45 pounds. It looked like one of hers. But I guess they don't find a lot of Viking poop,
No.
you know? Most of them flushed. Texter, next time you're up that way, Syracuse, stop in Binghamton, New York for the best pizza ever, Cortese. You ever heard of that place?
No, I'll remember it.
No, you won't. Let me tell you something. I ain't driving to Syracuse and stopping off in Binghamton, New York. That's just never going to happen. I appreciate the shout. Thank you for caring about us enough to recommend what you clearly think is the world's best pizza. Imagine that. Hey, baby, let's take a little summer 3-day weekend. Oh, where are we going? We're going to Binghamton, New York.
Yep.
And get some pizza. Well, what else is there to do? I don't know. That pizza could be good.
It's gonna slap.
Then we'll head on over to Syracuse, where it's 70 degrees in the summertime. That might not be bad.
Starkey said he wants to do a live show for my graduation next year. So maybe he can pick up a pizza from there. You know that's not going to happen, by the way. Someone up the ladder is going to put the kibosh on that.
Starkey's always got these grandiose ideas. Like when the Steelers played the Bills in that playoff game, he wanted us all to go and broadcast.
Right.
And he's like, you could stay at my parents' place. We're like, that's great. And then he didn't even go. Nobody went.
No.
I guess there was that horrific snowstorm. All right, should we do the sports?
Sure.
It's going to be a show today where, I don't know, I wrote down like 5 topics, and we're going to get to them at some point. That's how that's pretty much going to go. Remember that time we were sitting down, there was an Odyssey dinner, and Mueller sat down next to us, and he's like, you know what you guys should do from time to time? Just show up and don't have a rundown. Just turn the mics on and go. Oh, okay, Chris. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Sage words of wisdom. That's what we do every day.
Yes.
We're going to do it again today.
He's trying to give us advice. We're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Just show up. Just show up. Okay. I mean, this thing, look at it. Here's a show sheet on the YouTubes. We're going to have fun today. Noah Hiles joining us from 9 o'clock until 10 because Jason Mackey, he bailed on us. He's filling in for Starkey today. He also did a show last night. And we'll actually begin with something that transpired on his show last night. He talked to great baseball insider Jeff Passan about the state of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And man, Jeff did not hold back. That's in 30 seconds, bang.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Crafton Heights crews checking reports of some down power lines at the intersection of Valley Rue and Rudolph Streets. Just be aware you could find some lane closures. Also, due to flooding in Robinson Township, Campbell's Run Road is closed near the intersection with Baldwin Road. That's between I-79 and the Thornburg Bridge. Parkways east and west inbound looking pretty good. Outbound Parkway east, though, you still have that lane restriction between the Squirrel Hill Homestead and Edgewood Swiss Valley interchanges. In addition, the ramp from Beechwood Boulevard to the outbound Parkway East is closed. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA, I'm Greg McAtee on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com. HD1 Pittsburgh. An Odyssey Sports Station. Live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
End of commercial.
Yep, it's on.
Back to the Fan Morning Show. Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
I want to steal a topic from intern Dom at some point today, Doran. He asked a wonderful question on the early morning show. Would you rather, was it Drew Aller or Arch Manning?
Arch Manning.
Would you rather the Steelers get Arch Manning or the Penguins get Gavin McKenna? It could only be one.
You're going to ask it later, or you'll answer now?
Well, you're in love with Drew Aller. Oh, it's Arch Manning.
Arch Manning.
I've screwed up thrice already, and we've been on the air in the show proper for 30 seconds. Yeah, answer now. Don't! We'll do it later. Jeff Passan, ESPN baseball insider, the Adam Schefter of baseball. Dom informs me is a Syracuse grad, so we won't hold that against him. He joined Jason Mackey last night. And Jason asked him, what is the perception of Pirates ownership league-wide?
I think he's seen as somebody who has a passionate fan base, who has arguably the most beautiful stadium in Major League Baseball, and completely wastes it. Pirates fans want to go to that ballpark, want to cheer as loud as they possibly can, want to support this team, but quite often ownership doesn't give them reason to.
Yeah, ain't that right? And that's how it's viewed nationally. And I don't think even nationally they know exactly what's going on here. Because one of the things that I'm now holding against the front office with the Pittsburgh Pirates is the fact that Ben Cherington is still the general manager. And when Derek Shelton got fired, the reason was urgency. Well, here we are jettisoning towards a trade deadline, jettisoning towards a Major League Baseball draft for a team that doesn't have anything from a hitting standpoint coming up through the minors, anything that's relatively close. And the guy that got them into this mess, it's like the meme. We're all looking for the guy who did this. He's still allowed to be steering the ship here. And we can talk about finances, we can talk about drafting and developing, we can talk about all that. But the idea that this guy, Ben Cherington, is allowed to continue to build this team when you're only going to have 3 years left of Paul Skeens after this year is just mind-boggling to me. And I can't think of one good reason why he's allowed to be the guy. And you go back and you read the press release from when Derek Shelton got fired, Ben Cherington took full responsibility for that. And they allowed Ben Cherington to take full responsibility for that, which now, upon further review, makes me think that he's in good standing with the organization. My hope here, though, Doran, and this is the topic I really want to get into, and you can take it wherever you want to go, is because of all the things that have happened this year on and off the field for the Pirates, could this please be the offseason where they're embarrassed enough to actually do the right thing? Like, sometimes it takes embarrassing to change your ways. Sometimes you drink too many beers and you pee in a closet, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to drink as many beers anymore. It's embarrassing. Perhaps the national embarrassment that this season has become could push the Pirates in a positive direction. I don't know.
I think it might be simple for the reason why Ben Cherington's still here. It's like, you go into the offseason, and if you're Bob Nutting, you're like, all right, I'm going to give you one more chance at this. And obviously Derek Shelton, I'm going to give you week-by-week basis. I don't know if he probably said that to him, but that's probably the mindset. And it was a week-by-week basis with Derek Shelton, because you feel comfortable that if you fired Derek Shelton whenever you did, that you have somebody that can step in place and take this team throughout the rest of the season. You felt comfortable with Donnie Kelly being the interim, quote-unquote, interim manager for the rest of the season. Who would be the interim GM if you fire him? I feel like it's almost simple that, all right, like if we fire Cherington whenever we fire Shelton, or if we, fire Cherington, a month or two after we fire Shelton, who's going to run things? Because usually whenever you fire GM, the regime is fired.
Right.
Usually everybody kind of goes.
Right.
And then a new regime comes in. Like, who's going to handle the trade deadline? Who's going to handle the draft? Who's going to handle, prospects up and down? Like, it's a little bit deeper, I think, than, just firing a manager. I think you kind of need somebody to run the ship or to guide the ship, at least through the rest of the season, and then you could kind of, at the end of the season, whenever things open up, teams are done playing, all right, this is the person we want to bring in, and then Ben Cherington, you're out.
Yeah.
I think it might be that simple.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
You need somebody to do it.
It's deep. Whereas a manager at surface level, it's like getting a mole cut off. Whereas a general manager, it goes below the surface.
But even in other sports, like even in the NFL or even in the NHL, and I could be wrong, like, do you ever hear of a general manager getting fired during the season? You hear of coaches.
You'll see it sometimes in the NFL. There's not much to do, right?
Right.
After, the deadline's not as big of a thing.
Right.
And you'll have the draft, but not for a very long time. Meanwhile, in Major League Baseball, the draft is mid-season. So it makes it hard to do that. That's all true.
But Rutherford was fired during the season.
He left.
He left during the season, and that the assistant GM, I forget his name, he took over. But you don't see that as much. You do see coaches, though, because somebody else could step in, and then it's like, all right, here's your opportunity to showcase what you got, and maybe we'll keep you, maybe we won't. But at the end of the season, we'll move in a different direction, and we have a plan. But the GM, there's so many other things that you have to deal with that if you fire a GM during a season, it makes everything hard. Yeah, especially if you're not like a sports guy, a sports owner. Like if Michael Jordan was still, I don't know if he still owns a Charlotte or whatever, but if he fired his GM, like he'd be like, all right, I'm going to step in. And
Mario, exactly.
Right.
Like, I know what I'm doing here.
I went off on a little tangent there, but it just like maybe it's just that simple of like, all right, like
maybe it's not that deep. Well, maybe you've given me a little hope here. That it's not just ignorance, and it's more practical. Hey, we really can't do anything about this. He needs to go, though, and I feel like this dead horse gets beat routinely on this show and others on the station, but that honeymoon phase has come and gone for me. And this isn't to say that I dislike Don Kelly, don't think he's doing a nice job, but here's the cruel reality. If you extrapolate what the Pirates have done thus